everybody, my name's Lizzie and I'm going to be showing you today some different things to do with elder. My garden, I'm really lucky, my garden's full of elder trees, so it seemed like a really good thing to use. I'm going to show you 3 different things that you can do with elder. Something you can wear, something you can play with, and something you can drink. Sorry, that's not true. It was just 2 things, but I do tell you a story at the end. So the first thing you need to do is find yourself an elder tree. And this time of year is a really good time to find them because they are flowering. So they grow all over the place actually, sometimes in hedgerows. You might be lucky enough to have a garden, there's one in your garden, or if you're out and about on a walk, you can spot them. They've got those beautiful white flowers. I'm going to get a bit closer and we can just have a closer look so you know exactly what you're looking for. So here is an elder tree. So we've got these lovely white clusters of flowers that are out at the moment, and they're really, really fragrant. They've got a really amazing smell. They smell beautiful. And here's some of the leaves. The bark is a kind of light brown, and some of the younger stems are sort of speckled and spotty. So you do need to be careful. Those flowers do look a little similar to hogweed, which is a plant that you do need to avoid. It can make your skin really blistered and sore, but obviously this is quite a large tree. Some will be quite small and shrub-like. This is quite a nice established tree. Okay, so that's an elder. Okay, so the first thing we're going to make today is some elder beads. So I'm going to cut a piece of elder. I don't want the really green stuff. I'm looking for something with a sort of a brown bark, which means it will be slightly older and slightly tougher. So I'm going to just cut this piece here, and I'm going to ask the tree first for permission, and I'm only going to take what I need. And it's really important to ask the tree for permission, and you'll hear why later. So elder tree, please can I take some of your branches, please? I think she said yes. Okay, so I'm going to cut this bit here. It's about as thick as my, oh gosh, about as thick as my index finger, and that should be just fine. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have a go at making is some beads from our elder, which you can use to then thread and make a necklace. You can use them to make all sorts of things like little puppets. So we've been and cut our elder. If you can see, the elder, the great thing about elder is it has this sort of hard bark around the edge, but inside is a really soft sort of pith inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our secateurs to cut them into small little cylinders like this. Put these down, and then you need a pokey thing. Whatever pokey thing is going to work. You could use a skewer, you could use a tent peg, you could use a nail, you can even use another small hard stick. I really like using a tent peg, especially for the small beads. And all you need to do is just push through, and the pith comes out, and you're left with a really lovely bead. So the next thing you need to do is get yourself some wool or some string, and you can just cut yourself a length of string and thread your beads on. And if you want to be completely natural, what you can do is you could use something like some strips of willow bark if you've got willow nearby, which we found last year worked really, really well. So all you need to do is thread them on. You can paint them, you can colour them with felt tip pens or permanent markers to make them look really, really groovy. But I'm going to keep these au natural. I reckon that's about enough. And then you can just tie a knot. If you're super clever, you can do a special knot that you can tighten, but I'm just going to do a normal granny knot. And there you go, a beautiful elder necklace Okay, so the next thing, elder thing number 2, is really cool, and we've just learned how to do this today. So, you know, we're not that good at it, but we managed to do it. This time you're going to need a fatter piece of elder. We've been choosing elder about as thick as our thumb, and a nice bit with a good bit of tough bark on the outside. We found that it's best to choose bits with just a little, with a thick ring of bark and just a thin bit of pith inside, otherwise it just cracks. So we've had to do lots of experimentation today, and we've tried stuff, it hasn't worked, we tried it again, and we got there in the end. So choose a bit of bark that's got this knobbly bit on. I'm sure it's got a special name, but I don't know what it is. But we're going to use this bit as our handle. Did I say that we were making spud gums? Did I already say that? Did I say that? Oh, I must knock this right out. Okay, after you finish clearing the inside of your piece of wood out, you need to just have a go at just sharpening the end of it to, not really quite to a point, but you're just thinning the bark so that you can sort of stab it into the potato more easily. You have to be really careful because obviously you haven't got a lot of bark to play with. But if you just keep shaving little bits off, you can eventually get this part here nice and thin. And then you're ready for step 3. Okay, so the next stage is to find yourself a stick, and it needs to be at least as long as your piece of elder. You're gonna get your little knobbly bit, and you can stick your stick into that. So this is going to be your handle that you push to shoot the potato out, and then cut your stick so it's the same length as your piece of elder, like that. Okay, so then you've got those 2 parts. You've got your handle with the pusher, and you've got your tube with the sharpened end. Okay, so next stage is to get your potato, cut a slice. That's about 1 centimetre thick, but you can have a go with different thicknesses if you want to. We found, yeah, we like about 1 centimetre, and then using your sharpened end, push it into the potato so you have 1 piece in the end of your piece of elder, and then just poke that a little way back, and then so that's gone back in about this far, and then poke it into the potato again so you've got a 2nd piece in the end. Okay, so the last step is obviously getting your handle with your stick, your potatoes loaded and ready to fire. You pop your stick in, and then you give it a good whack, and it should go pop, and the potato should go flying out of the end, which is really awesome. So hopefully it'll work. Okay, 3, 2, 1.